Hey friends, so I'm here today with Chase Armitage. I've been chatting to him about his latest project, which is Fast and Furious. So how's that going, man?
Yeah, dude, it's almost like a dream job opportunity, you know, because one, I'm a big car fan, so that's like ticking the boxes.
Yeah.
And you know, just the whole action side of it, being able to, you know, go in there and put some parkour flavour on a car show. Basically, it's nice to sort of like put my little element in there, and yeah, and it's obviously travelling around the world, so that's like, you know, I mean, you can't not love that, can you? I mean, you know, travelling's like one of the best things that I've ever sort of, you know, been able to do in my life, and yeah, so it's gonna be starting off in January. I think it's in the O2, and then it's going around Europe for the first year. So yeah, it's gonna be sick, man. I'm like 3 days a week working, so it's going to be like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show, and then yeah, then the rest of the days I got off. So it's just like a dream opportunity, you know.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, it's so good, man. I'm really happy for you as well.
Yeah,
it's like nice to see you doing so well. So like, how do you find that while you're traveling, like with obviously being vegan and your training requirements?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's a good point actually, because luckily I'm going to be traveling with two of my best mates, and they're vegan as well. So you know, it's going to be awesome actually, because actually one of the things I love when I do travel is that it's like exploring the food.
Yeah. You
know, like honestly, when I travel, a lot of time with my wife, like it's the most exciting thing to go to a new country and to like get your happy cow app out and, you know, like search and just see what you're going to find, because you know, it's a bit of a gamble really. You might find some epic restaurants, or you might just find some, you know, some crap ones, but
you might end up eating hummus and carrots.
Yeah,
at a park.
Totally.
I'm guessing you're seeing what I'm seeing is that everywhere is getting a lot more easy to travel and easy to be vegan.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, totally. You know, you just see it, don't you? You feel it. You know, just almost every month, every, you know, passing month that goes by, you find a new restaurant or a new product that's gone vegan, or you know, you just feel the world's waking up, and yeah, it's getting a lot easier, that's for sure, when we're traveling.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful to see, because it's just important that for anyone who's willing to do it, that, you know, it's just as easy as possible, and it's easy to make that transition.
Sure.
Do you get a lot of people talking to you online about it? Like, do you get asked many questions?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's just part of the beauty of it really, isn't it?
How do you feel with your online stuff? So like, do you try and limit the amount you're online, or are you pretty active?
It can absolutely take over your life, and you know, there's part of me that just can't wait for that day where I just unplug from the matrix, you know, and I've got my dreams of moving to somewhere like Costa Rica, and
cool,
you know,
man.
just living in the jungle, and like, there's nothing better than reconnecting to nature, right?
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm playing the game, you know, like a good mate, Felix Price, he said a good thing, and he was like, we're just urban avatars, you know, like that's what we are.
Felix,
at the moment. Yeah,
Felix is a beast, man.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah.
And I like his take on stuff, and you know, so I just feel like at the moment we are just playing the game, aren't we? We're just, you know, we're in the matrix, we're in the system, so we should just use it to our benefit, and you know, try and make those conversions, wake people up.
I think you're having a good effect on that, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
It's a real positive feed. Is that really your dream? You want to move somewhere like really out the way? And
yeah, it's funny, man. Like, 'cause, you know, people, you know, on the outside who don't know me that well, they might just think like, you know, my life is, you know, the goal is to, you know, carry on working in movies and, you know, do cool projects, meet cool people, you know, travel the world, which is kind of what's going on. But, you know, ultimately I've got a more connected approach to where I want to be, you know, like it is nature, you know, like a lot of my stories and stuff are me climbing trees and, you know, and just sort of like being out in nature, and actually that's the most important thing to me, like those things, like showing people that, you know, break the mold. Like, I find it funny, you know, I'm climbing trees with my mate, and we're both over 30, you know, and sometimes I stop to think, and I'm like, you're actually like a 30-year-old man climbing trees,
beauty.
like playing games all the time, having fun all the time. But yeah, totally, that's my way, you know, and that's how I want to be, you know, for the rest of my life. We shouldn't have to change that.
And it's so natural the way you come across. People can see that joy,
and
you know, the way that you're in.
Love.
Yeah, exactly. No, but that's beautiful. Never change.
Yeah, for sure.
Never change.
No, I won't, man. Never.
Don't be thinking about growing up on me.
Yeah, well, that's it. That is it.
No, that's cool, man.
I do think that is the most important thing, just to, you know, remain a kid. Like the most beautiful thing, you know, the most beautiful times in our lives is when we were kids, you know, and we're just like little sponges to the world. We're so excited by everything, and you know, the world's so big. And then you get older, and you know, like some people, they change that attitude.
Yeah.
But for me, I've just been, you know, every morning I go to bed with a smile on my face. I wake up with a smile on my face, you know, because I'm like excited to what the day may bring.
Man, that's part of your energy. Like with the parkour thing, it's exactly what I see from Tim as well. Like
Absolutely.
when you talk about that childhood is where all the best memories and things like that come.
Yeah.
When I see Tim playing around, you know, he's a child again.
Yeah,
Is, you know, he's loving it, and that's beautiful. It's it's a real positive message.
Parkour's, you know, I mean, everybody's got it. Like, forget parkour as in a movement and a thing, guys jumping off buildings. It's actually like connecting to that. You know, we all did parkour when we were kids, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody tried to balance across the, you know, the bollards. Everybody was jumping off stuff and just having fun. So, yeah, you know, it's more than just parkour. And people that get it, like Tim, you know, it's that fun. Have fun, you know.
Have fun with it. And for me, I mean,
you're clearly having fun and enjoying yourself doing this.
Love it.
This is food parkour in some way.
In some way, I mean, maybe I'll have to like give it some of that or something. I don't know, just to get it in there. But
enjoy it, bro. I love that.
but yeah, exactly. I mean, this is, you know, this is my canvas. This is where I like to be creative and things like that. But that's the message you've got to put out to people. You know, you've got to enjoy things, and at the same time, you've got to identify that your footprint you're leaving on the world. You want to be a compassionate being. You want to not harm other sentient beings, and that's.
And again, isn't that something that almost comes from when we were kids? You know, like when you're a kid, you're so full of love. You know what I mean? Like any animal you see, you know, you just go up and embrace them. And as you get older, you almost get ripped out of that mentality, and then you start seeing the world from a different, like a bit more of a cold set of eyeballs. Yeah.
It's fear. It's like, I mean, can you identify? I always think like. When I think of something where I'm maybe not being compassionate or not caring or anything like that, and I'm like, oh, I need to snap out of that, and you kind of think, so where's that come from? Where's that come from in my brain? And it's fear. It's got to be like you were doing something that was compassionate, and someone at school or whatever, like someone outside of your circle went, doing that for, or that like.
Yeah, no, true.
And you've got to be true enough with yourself to just recognise, you know. Is this what I want?
Yeah.
Or am I doing this for someone else?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, if you reconnect to your true self, you know, then you just can't go wrong with that. You know what I mean? Our minds have been a little bit brainwashed in ways, but you know, our hearts, I say, that's where all the truth can never be like skewed. You know, because you know, if you act from your heart on anything, and that's why then when you start waking up to, you know, going vegan, you're actually listening to your heart. You're telling your mind to shut the hell up. You know?
Yeah. And that's
all it is. That's all it is. That is simply all it is for anyone on this journey or thinking about going on the journey. It's like stop listening to your mind, listen to your heart a little bit more.
How do you feel?
Yeah.
So I want you to talk me through. Like you touched a little bit on it about the whole like moving somewhere like Costa Rica or somewhere like that, and it being out of the way. What do you think's the end game there? Like, is it that you don't want the influence from the outside world, or like?
No, it's actually that you know, me and my wife, one of our dreams were to find a way to bring our two sort of skill sets to, you know, do good and help people on like a personal level. So, you know, one of our little dreams were to move out to Costa Rica or somewhere like that and set up like a retreat. You know, she's big into yoga. I'm obviously big into parkour and physical training. We're both into, you know, meditation and spiritual elements, so it'd be quite a nice mix. You know, I just wanted to do.
Sign me up.
Crazy, yeah, dude. Honestly, it would be next level.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to almost do it like Jedi training.
Okay.
You know, over my sort of past 3 or 4 years, ever since I went vegan, you know, it's not just been about veganism, but it's been about like life level ups. That's like one of my things. So obviously I went and met Wim Hof, and what a freaking legend that guy was. You know, again, opening my mind to next level training, meditation, you know, and all these things. I'd love to bring like cold therapy into it, the whole mix. you know, obviously like parkour, calisthenics, meditation. Like I had visions of doing stuff where, you know, every morning people would wake up and they'd be blindfolded for the first hour. And instead of just using your eyes as you would, like wake the senses up, you know, like, and sort of do training down on the beach and a bit surfing, and, you know, just wanted it to be that sort of movement, meditation, retreat type thing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool, man, you know, because then I could live every day in the moment. Doing
as a child, and you have that freedom,
child,
you know?
Totally.
Teaching, but I mean, we talked a little bit off camera about when people contact you and say, you know, they want advice going vegan. And that joy you get from that, I mean, that's got to be the joy you're going to get from teaching people to get back to that base root of knowing the body and feeling the self out again and saying, okay, waking up the senses.
Yeah.
And you'll probably, you know, you're going to attract all kinds of people from all different walks of life.
Totally.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, like you're absolutely right. I mean, we can make changes in the world in so many different ways. And again, that coming back to the social media thing, that's like, you know, that's one of the most beautiful things about social media is that, you know, with one post, let's call it, from the heart, with one post from the heart, whether it be a story or an actual post or whatever, you could change the lives of 100 people, 1,000 people that easily, you know?
An account like yours for sure, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, it's so rewarding to see that it's happening. And, you know, like I was telling you, I get the messages like quite often now, and I'm just so happy to write, you know, I don't even know these people, but I'm just so happy to be like, yes, somebody's also seeing it the way I'm seeing it. Like, they want to go vegan, they want to be a better person, you know, they want to be a better version of them,
yeah.
They want better for the planet. Just tell them, you know, you're on it, you're doing the right thing.
I think sometimes, like, it's as simple as well as giving someone a nudge to go and research it a little bit further themselves. So sometimes someone will go, but where do you get your protein or your calcium or this or that? Like, I really like bags and shoes, like, how am I going to And you go, oh, I know a couple of companies that still do that, like, get in touch or like go on the website or whatever. But they could have Googled, you know, vegan bags and shoes, and they could have found it, or like where do vegans get the protein? Like, everything is there, right? But that personal connection of going, well, I'm going to drop Chase a message and he's got loads of followers, so he's probably not going to get back to me, but you know, maybe he will. And then when you actually get back to him and go, oh yeah,
so true.
They go, oh, I feel an obligation to go and do it now.
Yeah, it's so true.
And
you're absolutely
it's massive.
Right. You're absolutely right. You know, the amount of people that do say that, like, oh, I didn't think you'd get back to me. I'm like, well, why not? I'm a normal person.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think you're right. That's one of the most beautiful things, when they don't expect you to get back to you, but you do.
Yeah.
And then I think they feel the connection, you know. And again, the Costa Rica thing is like the same thing, but on a personal level. You're there, like you say, eye-to-eye contact, energy interface. You know, like you're actually, say, you're teaching somebody, but you're present and you're there. The difference between a 1-to-1 and, you know, a 1 to a 100 on social media. So
yeah,
you know, it's just different ways to do the same thing.
Exactly, and I think both are required.
Yeah, totally.
Both are required.
For sure.
Sometimes you need to reach the masses, and that's, you know, a really interesting way of doing it. Social media has been so important for people in that respect, but at the same time, that personal touch that you can give some people sometimes, you know, that's the stuff that it will change people's lives.
I mean, it was nice what you were telling me, that, you know, you do stuff with for homeless people, you know, like, that's just like so much respect for that, bro, because, you know, that is, again, that's an example of those personal, you know, interfaces that you have with people, and you change them on a, you know, on a personal level.
Yeah, I think part of the homeless thing for me was people, when I went vegan, talking about, oh, you know, vegans care so much about animals, but they don't really care about people. And I was like, and they do care about people, it's just that people are the ones hurting animals, like, and they're consciously doing it. Like, other animals are kind of running on their base program to eat other animals, yet we're like putting them in cages, like we're systematically torturing them and then killing them. And I'm like, so that's why people may seem to have more of an issue, but at the same time, like, there's vulnerable people in our society, so like it's important to get out and like help and things like that. And it's simple, you know, like, I get home from work and I'm tired most nights and things like that, but it's so easy for me to go to a shop, buy a load of stuff like bottles of water, we were talking about that earlier, I'm trying to reduce the plastic in a minute. So I'm actually gonna I'm finding other ways of doing that at the moment. And like just things like cereal bars and face wipes and socks. Like it's simple things that people want, and it's, you know, now it's getting colder as well. It's a really, really important thing to do. It's so simple to do. A couple of my friends, Carl O'Sullivan, vegan rapper, and Cath, they went and did it the other night. Like I saw they paid, it was like £12 they spent, and they made like 20 vegan meals, took them out onto the streets and gave them to homeless people. And it's simple, but like the impact that they can make is massive.
Imagine, absolutely. I mean, that's actually something that, you know, me and my wife have been putting into practice every day, is like practicing gratitude as much as you can, because like, you know, you wake up in the morning, you make yourself breakfast and you eat it, and so many people, they just do it, don't they? Actually, we can do it on this one.
Yeah.
Practice some gratitude.
That's good, man.
Do you know what I mean? But like, I think being grateful in life is like the most important thing you can do.
It's important to know yourself, and it's important to practice that gratitude, because people like me and you are blessed to have walls and a roof.
Don't we know it? That's it.
Yeah, man, I'm psyched about that, actually. We'll practice some gratitude. I like that. It's a good way to pitch it.
Yeah,
and very, very close now.
It's
very, very close.
You know, we sit down, and if one of us goes to just eat, you know, one of us will probably catch each other out and be like, did you? And then you're like, shit, and it just wakes you up to the fact that we do just every day take things for granted and not, you know, become present in the moment, you know, and actually be like, thank you for this, you know, like.
That's good, because whether you're a religious person or spiritual or anything, it's an important thing to like, that's what that's all about, you know, whether you're worshipping someone or whether you're just thanking the universe for the fact that, I mean, it's something I touched on really early when we were talking earlier, talking about determinism, and it's something I've gone down the rabbit hole. I mean, we talked about the vegan rabbit hole, but I've gone down the determinism rabbit hole massively.
Sounds
and
good.
it's,
Tell me about it.
The way I like to think about it, the easiest way I like to explain it as well is, you ever play on a video game where you're a character and the character's got certain stats, and all the characters got different stats, but I think of us all as we're born with different stats. You know, I don't believe everyone is born exactly equal. I just don't. But we're all born these little bundles of joy that are a little ball of like Play-Doh or a little ball of like plasticine that's going to be molded by everything that ever happened. So depending on your kind of your stats and your attributes, the way different things that happen to you, you're going to react a certain different way to it. So you're all reaching different points, like a snowflake falling from the sky. I mean, it's a bit of a cliche to call people snowflakes, but determinism very much looks at people like in a snowflake way, because everything that ever happens to you molds you into the person you are. So
I like that.
The fact that we personally look at people like maybe immigrants, and people talk about like immigrants and asylum seekers coming into countries, and they go, we've got to be tougher on immigration. It's like, what test did you pass to be in the country? Like, you were born here, and that's all that, you were just lucky. You were lucky, you didn't make a decision.
So
you weren't a certain amount of like, you didn't have a certain amount of intelligence, and that's why you're in this country. You were just born here, you were just lucky, it was just, you know, it just happened, it was fate. So someone else coming in, like, you're just scared of the other person. Like, you've got to get back to the baseline and say, actually, do I deserve to be here? Like, is there anything special about me? No, I'm just a human like everyone else. Maybe we should help these people and protect them and bring them in and stop being afraid of everyone.
I mean, you know, there's that website Avaz, and you know, they're always doing like positive humanitarian.
That's cool, man.
Stuff, and,
Avaz.
You know, and
that's cool.
And it's just like, I love to see, you know, it's so inspiring when you see how much change, you know, how much of the bad shit in the world they're tackling. And I love to just get back, you know, behind it, whether it is just that, you know, it's like they sign a petition, donate some money, you know, I know it's kind of, you know, what you're doing is a better way, let's say, of actually going to homeless people, you know, in the person and helping them. But, you know, if it's those freedom credits, a little bit of money is going to help go towards something, you know, it's all energy put in the right place.
And you've hit the nail on the head there, because it's almost an error in our mind that always going and doing it and feeding the homeless people yourself can actually sometimes be a selfish way of doing it, because you can be doing it because you're feeding your own ego and you want people to see you doing it, or you want to feel good. Sometimes if you don't have much time but you do have a lot of money, giving money to charity and things is a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
There's a guy who talks about, I think it's altruistic charity or something like that, altruistic activism.
Okay.
And he talks about the most impact you can have for your dollar bill. He says, like, if you give to certain charities, like, certain ones have more impact than others, and like he does like studies on which ones give you the most impact. I think that's a really interesting way of doing it.
Yeah, totally.
Sometimes it's really good to go and connect and give you time, and that's a really important way of doing it.
Think a bit of both, you know.
Yeah.
But doing good is doing good, you know what I mean? In any way, if it comes from a good place in your heart and you're doing good, doesn't matter what the vehicle is, you know, it's the end result, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't had like cheese pasta in a long time.
Yes. So this,
so good.
I'm going to save a little bit for a special person. Yeah, so this, basically, one of the things I really missed, or thought I was going to miss when I went vegan, was like honey mustard pasta.
Yes.
So this, it's got a little bit of cheese and some nutritional yeast, but it's basically mustard, some agave nectar. I like to add mustard seeds into it as well. A little bit of thyme. This is lemon thyme. Have a whiff of that.
Good.
It's real. Yeah, it's a real kind of fresh scent to it.
That's good.
Some garlic puree, some chopped garlic, onion, the first thing to go in the pan.
Yeah.
A little bit of oil, some spinach, get your greens in.
Nice.
And there we have it. So if we're going to take a bite, but first,
Yes. Good man.
we're going to realise, you know, we're going to realise how thankful we are for this.
Yeah.
So you can,
No, thank you.
you
first
can
of all, mate.
lead,
Thank
you can lead me on this. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I always just, you know, I like going into it. I'm not a religious person, but I am a grateful person. I'm a compassionate person. I'm a spiritual person, because we're all light and energy at the end of the day. So, you know, this is just feeding. I always say, like, it's just feeding our energy, and I'm kind of like, you know, if I'm grateful for this energy that feeds my energy, and my energy feeds the universe, and for a good cause, you know. So, you know, it's just a moment to be thankful, man. Like, just, yeah. Thanks.
sweet, man.
Beautiful.
Let's dig in.
And it just makes it that much better when it's like incredible food. Oh, mate.
So it's just nice
good.
and creamy.
Wow. That is so tasty, mate. Nailed
Yeah.
it.
I mean, you saw like such a simple recipe.
Yeah, you know.
Really easy to throw together.
Yeah, fair play. And it's so tasty, man. Like, it's been a while. It's the cheese and it's the mustard, it's just and the agave. It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of nice and warming. You know, we're in autumn now.
Yeah, man.
It's a real, you know, wholesome dish. It's not something you want to be eating every day. Obviously, it's pretty carb loaded, but yeah, nice wholesome dish. All right, you could, because you're working out every day.
Amazing.
Really appreciate your time today. Really appreciate it, man.
No worries, mate. Thank you, bro.
So your Instagram is it _Armitage?
Yeah, Chase
_Armitage. I would definitely say check him out. Really interesting in Instagram. Check out all his stories, see what he's getting up to day to day, because it's really interesting. I'll write the recipe below, and please like and subscribe, because your support really matters to me. It's really important. So until next time, friends, be nice to each other, and goodbye.
Peace.